Hey there, welcome back. I'm so happy to see you here. We live in a world obsessed with big wins, the huge promotion, the dream house, the overnight success story, and somewhere in all that noise, we quietly convinced ourselves that if something isn't big, dramatic, or impressive, it doesn't count. So we overlook the small stuff, we dismiss it, we wait for the real win before we let ourselves feel proud. Today, I want to talk about something small, but honestly, it's something that changes everything once you actually understand it. Because small wins, they matter the most, and I want to show you why. Not just as a nice idea, but as something you can actually feel the truth of once you start paying attention. First, small wins are the foundation of every big one. Nobody wakes up one day and suddenly has the dream career, the healed mindset, the strong body, the stable life. That version of success is built quietly, brick by brick, through hundreds of small, unglamorous moments nobody applauds. The email you finally sent, the workout you almost skipped but didn't, the hard conversation you'd been avoiding for weeks that you finally had. Those aren't small at all. They're the actual foundation everything else stands on. Think about anyone you admire. Someone whose life looks put together, whose career looks impressive, whose peace looks earned. You're not seeing the highlight reel of one big moment. You're seeing the compound result of 1,000 small ones stacked so quietly over time that they eventually became impossible to ignore. Second, small wins build the evidence that you can trust yourself. Every time you follow through on something small, even something as simple as making your bed, drinking water first thing in the morning, or replying to that message you've been avoiding, you're sending yourself a quiet message. I follow through, I show up for myself. And that trust compounds. It becomes the quiet confidence that lets you take bigger risks later because you've already proven to yourself over and over in small ways that you can be counted on. That's not nothing, that's actually the whole game. Because self-trust isn't built in one dramatic moment, it's built in the hundreds of ordinary moments where you kept your word to yourself even when no one was watching. Third, small wins keep you moving when motivation disappears. Big goals are inspiring in theory, but motivation fades fast in daily life. It shows up strong for a week, maybe two, and then it quietly leaves the room. Small wins don't rely on motivation. They rely on momentum. Getting through one task, 1 hour, one small effort at a time is what actually keeps you going on the days you don't feel like it at all. That's the part nobody tells you. Discipline isn't a constant, powerful feeling. It's just choosing the next small thing again and again, especially when it's boring, especially when no one's clapping for you. Fourth, small wins protect you from all or nothing thinking. So many people quit entirely because they can't do everything perfectly. But progress was never supposed to be all or nothing. Missed a workout? One good stretch still counts. Didn't finish the whole project? One paragraph written still counts. Ate something that wasn't part of the plan? The next choice still counts. Small wins remind you that imperfect progress is still progress. They give you a way back in instead of a reason to give up entirely. And that one shift, believing that something is better than nothing, is often the exact thing that separates the people who keep going from the people who quietly stop trying. Fifth, small wins shift your relationship with yourself. Instead of constantly focusing on how far you still have to go, celebrating small wins teaches you to notice how far you've already come. That shift from lack to progress changes your entire internal dialogue. It becomes less, I'm not there yet, and more, look what I did today, less, I should be further along, and more, I showed up, and that counts. That's not just a mindset trick, that's a completely different way of moving through your life. One where you're not constantly punishing yourself for an imaginary finish line, but actually letting yourself feel good along the way. And here's the quiet truth. Most of life is made of small moments, not big ones. The big milestones are rare. The graduations, the weddings, the major achievements. Those are just a handful of days out of thousands. But the small moments, the consistent effort, the tiny choices, the quiet discipline, that's most of your actual life. That's what fills up your Tuesdays and your Thursdays and all the ordinary days in between that never make it into a highlight reel. So if you only celebrate the big stuff, you're missing almost everything that actually makes up your days. You're waiting for the 1% to feel proud while ignoring the 99% that got you there. So today, notice your small wins. Got out of bed on a hard day? That counts. Said something kind to yourself instead of something harsh? That counts. Showed up even a little, even imperfectly? That counts too. Sent the text you've been putting off? Drank the water, took the walk, closed the laptop on time? All of it counts. You don't need a huge moment to feel proud of yourself. You just need to start noticing the small ones you've been skipping past all along. Celebrate them, really, out loud if you have to. Because they're not just small moments passing by, they're building something bigger than you realize, one quiet choice at a time. Take care of yourself. I'll see you in the next one.